Want to hear a scary story? There's a man named George Ritter. In 1983, he did a study and called it the McDonaldization of society. He was a sociologist, and his main interests were social theory, meta theory, theory of rationalization, political sociology, economic sociology, and the sociology of consumption. I learned about him in my psychology courses a month ago. This whole thing with the quarter pounder banging around in my brain for a long time, I want to share it with you. There's a lot of social implications behind this, and there's actually 4 core principles. Number 1, efficiency. Efficiency refers to the optimal method for achieving a goal with minimal time and effort. In the context of McDonald's, this means providing the fastest way to satisfy hunger, such as through drive-through services or pre-prepared meals. Beyond fast food, efficiency manifests in self-serve kiosks, automated checkouts, and streamlined processes in education, healthcare, and retail, aiming to maximize output while minimizing human effort and time spent. Number 2 principle is calculability. Calculability emphasizes quantity over quality, focusing on measurable outcomes rather than subjective experiences. For example, McDonald's prioritizes the number of burgers sold and portion sizes rather than gourmet quality. In broader society, this principle appears in education through standardized testing, in social media via likes and followers, and in business metrics that value numerical performance indicators over qualitative aspects. Number 3 principle is predictability. Predictability ensures that products and services are standardized and consistent across locations worldwide. Customers can expect the same menu, service, and experience at any McDonald's worldwide. This principle extends to other sectors such as chain stores, franchise services, and global entertainment, where uniformity reduces uncertainty and creates a familiar, reliable experience for consumers. Simply psychology. Number 4, control. Control involves regulating both employees and process to maintain consistency and efficiency, often through technology or strict procedures. In McDonald's, this includes standardized training, automated cooking equipment, and scripted service protocols. In other industries, control can be seen in automated systems, algorithm-driven workflows, and bureaucratic regulations that reduce human variability and enhance predictability. The implications are that these 4 principles illustrate how rationalized, standardized practices from the fast food industry have permeated modern society, affecting education, healthcare, retail, and entertainment. While they increase convenience, efficiency, most critics argue that they can lead to dehumanization, loss of individuality, and the irrationality of rationality, where overly rational systems become inefficient or restrictive. George Ritter, the man who wrote the book, views McDonaldization as an extension of Max Weber's theory of rationalization. Max Weber's analysis of modern society centered on rationalization, which he defined as the belief that modern society should be built around logic and efficiency rather than morality or tradition. Rather than morality. Weber believed that the industrial West was becoming increasingly rational, dominated by efficiency, predictability, calculability, and non human technology. Ritter suggests that McDonaldization serves as a metaphor for the over rationalization of society, fearing that increasing rationalization will deprive society of human individuality and reduce the diversity of material culture. There's so much. There is so much here. These guys are up there with Karl Marx. If you know anything about psychology, sociology, you know Karl Marx is. Um, these guys have been studying social models. And when I learned about McDonaldization being a theory of human behavior control, it got pretty big for me. Where I realized now that it wasn't just them monopolizing the fast food market, it was about building a model of familiarity and comfort. I worked for a big box store and I was in management, and we set up our floor plans to mimic every other store in the country so that no matter where you went, you knew you were familiar with everything. You knew where to find your products. I don't know about you, but if I'm going to cross the ocean and I'm going to go to another country, I don't want to walk into a store that looks like one of mine. Like that takes away from the experience. And I want individual experiences. The idea of everybody doing the same thing, it's boring to me. But it's also dangerous because are you awake enough? Are you aware enough when you're in a familiar place and you're feeling comfortable to discern if you're in any trouble? There's more to McDonald's than all the rumors, than all the bad food. I mean, bad food just shortens the lifespan. But do you know you're being psychologically manipulated by that? Did you know that they've passed this business model down into our education or healthcare? I mean, entertainment. I'll never get into that on here. But our healthcare, our education, standardized models so that everybody is in the same world. No individuation. So imagine that this was written when I was 2 years old, and I'm 45 right now. So in 1983, when they were studying this, they were already worried about it. Like McDonald's was 20 years old by then, and it was like it was a problem. Well, we're 40 years past now. So for 60 years, McDonald's has been psychologically manipulating society in such a way that bureaucrats started following the model. That things like tradition and morality, they're not as important as quantity, as consuming. I don't know. This company is gonna flat out tell me to my face they don't care about morality. You couldn't convince me that half of the crazy rumors I've heard aren't true anymore. Between the lawsuits, between the social structure around the world, their manipulation is a business model now for society. I can't ignore that. You can. I mean, if taste is more important to you than morality, I don't know. This company straight up told us they don't care about morale. And people still want to argue that It's not so bad. We grew up on it. We did not grow up on this stuff, by the way. We grew up on peanut oil. Did you know that? I also didn't go to school with really anybody with peanut butter allergies. I think there was like 2 kids in the entire school. They took all this stuff away, and then like boom, people were allergic. So I've been watching. I've been watching a long time. My oldest child's 25 this year. I've been paying attention somewhat, and then I went to sleep. I went to sleep about a lot of stuff. I just followed the herd. I just did what society was doing. And now I take my life, my longevity, much more serious. I'm trying to get to 125, man. I'm trying to break some records. So I'm not on you for what you're doing is wrong. But I don't think a lot of people I know have bothered to even question it as far as I have. And that's okay. But if you don't have the time to, and it's never been something you were curious about, maybe hearing it from a friend, somebody somebody you sat around and had, long night conversations, maybe was part of my past life, you know me. And this isn't a wild goose chase. You know how much I've changed in the last 4 years. And I'm a college alumni now. I'm in my second year with my college. My first year, I took pharmacy because I wanted to get into pharmaceuticals, but it was strictly because addiction is where I wanted to go, mental health, for sure. So psychology is it, right? What drives us to feel depressed? What drives us to feel stuck, stagnant? And yeah, like, how do I live forever? How do I find all the great things in life? I'm a dreamer, and faith, belief, those are some real powerful things. You do see the changes. The individual has to make the choice. And when it comes to McDonald's, these guys do not care about morals. So why would you support them? That should be enough for you to drive right by them and find somewhere else to eat. You know what else would be cheaper? If you pack snacks. That's just a mom tip. Right, guys?